couple of minutes late today. My Zoom decided to have a little upgrade. So welcome to everybody to today's webinar. I can see that we've got 13 people already here who are very keen to get going on this one. So I'm just going to explain a few things to you so that you guys know how to ask questions and get the most that you possibly can out of today's webinar. Just to start off with, just so I can make sure everyone can hear me, can I get either a show of hands or maybe put something in the chat for me just to let me know that you can all hear me? Oh, fantastic. That's great. Thank you very much for that. So today we're going to be going through Canva for beginners, and Canva is my absolute favorite program, and I'm going to be showing you why today. So you could be using Canva for a number of reasons in your business. It could be because you're wanting to take care of all of your own marketing. You're wanting to maybe create some brochures that you could send off and get printed, or you just want to be in control of the overall look and feel of how your business is presented, and whether that is online or in the form of a brochure. So this program is absolutely amazing, particularly proud of it because it is an Australian-based program. So it started here in Australia. So it is a program that I love to use and I love to speak about. So as usual, these amazing webinars are brought to you by Business Station and the fantastic Digital Solutions program. So if you guys haven't taken advantage of that program yet, I'll be giving you some information on it towards the end of the webinar today. Now, how this is going to work, bear with me while I just turn my video off and get to the next screen for you. You will actually find, because it is a webinar, your microphones are muted, you can't talk to me, but I like to be really interactive. So if you have any questions, if you can pop them into the chat feature for me, that is the best place to actually get them to me, and I'll do my best to answer it. But we are going to be going over a number of things today as well. So I like these webinars to be interactive where possible. Now, you will get a copy of the recording, but I do suggest that you have a little notepad next to you with a piece of paper and a pen, sorry, just so that if I say anything that you think, wow, that's a great idea, you can just jot it down. Because quite often I show you things, or we come up with topics come up that are really great value for you guys as well. So that would be my suggestion, and have a nice drink of water next to you as well, wherever you're located. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Kerrie and I'm the co-founder of Altitude Business Solutions. And we have been working with Business Station and the Digital Solutions program since 2019. So we've been there for a few years now. We really enjoy it. Our primary business is about digital education for small business owners, so it really gels well with us. But that's just a little bit about me. 25 years plus, I've got 20 years on there. I'm a little bit older than what I was back then when I wrote that. But yeah, 25 years of business management experience, and currently contracting in the e-com division to Woolworths as well, which is a nice little perk for me as well. Now, you're in the right place today if you are ready to take control of the look and feel of your marketing without needing a graphic design degree or the expense of hiring a graphic designer. Canva is going to give you a lot of freedom to do everything, and it is very easy to use, and we're going to be running through all of it today. So what can you expect for us to go through over the next 60 minutes or so? We're going to be talking about what Canva is. I'm going to be taking you live inside the platform, and I'm going to give you a general overview of it. We're going to then also jump in and use some templates, and then we're going to do a design from scratch as well. I have no doubt that throughout that process, you guys are going to have a number of questions for me. And as I said, pop them into the chat. You will intermittently see my video come on and off. And I do that just because my internet isn't the most stable and I don't want you to lose the audio. But occasionally I'll pop on just like this and let you know that I am still here. And that just puts a little bit of a face to the voice as well. So what is Canva? Well, Canva is a simplified graphic design tool that was actually founded in Australia all the way back in 2012. I personally have been using Canva since 2013. Now, Canva uses a very familiar drop and drag format that we're all used to in similar programs like Word or etc. So this is why it took off so quickly. I think it was probably one of the most user-friendly graphic design tools that I had seen at the time. And of course, they had the free version. So, why wouldn't I give it a go as well? But certainly it's given, programs like Photoshop a run for their money. They could have, they had the monopoly for a long time. And this program has made graphic design really accessible to not only business owners, but anybody who is needing to design something. Today, it is used by non-designers as well as professionals are really starting to use this as well. And I'll tell you why in just a few minutes. Now, the tools and everything that you create in Canva, so any of the designs that you create in Canva, they can be used on both the internet and in marketing in general for digital marketing, but they can also be used in print media. So you can also download it in a format that you can send to your professional printer as well. And that's probably one of the key things. Now, what does Canva mean for your business? Well, it means it allows you to create a professional looking, engaging content without the expense of having to hire a graphic designer, because you can take care of that yourself. It gives you real creative freedom to ensure that you're in control of the message that is seen by your clients or customers. One thing I will say about that comment, though, is just because we want to be in control of our own image doesn't necessarily mean that we know what that is, or that we're projecting the best image either. So I always suggest that you get some advice from a professional, but Canva does allow you to be able to start doing some things and introduce it really cost effectively, as that last point is there. You can test lots of different things in the marketplace to see what works well from an advertising perspective. And you don't have to outlay that cost of, having a graphic designer or maybe outsourcing that work as well. So it could be that you are wanting to save that little bit of money as well. Now, guys, what I'm going to get you to do is, before I just touch on pricing, is in the chat for me, can you just give me an idea? I just want to know the audience that I'm speaking to today. So what I want to know is, have you used Canva before? Are you new to Canva? Are you thinking about getting Canva? Are you a seasoned professional? Whether you are using the free version or the pro version, just give me a little bit of insight, just so I know who's in the room and I can really tailor my presentation to that. Thank you very much, Andrea. New to Canva, considering getting it. You won't say no after you've seen this today. I know that. Used it a little, the free version. That's great. New to using the pro version. Oh, Nikki, I'm going to show you a few things there as well. Never used it, Roy. You'll have an insight today. Using it a few times a week, but not getting the most out of it. Have the pro version to use for a specific feature. Excellent. Never used it. Used it a small bit. Not sure what version we have. That's okay. I can help you out to find that as well. Never used it. Great. So we've got a real mixture of people. So I think what I'll probably do today is I'm going to start out basic, and I will show you the general overview of Canva. But I'll also go into a couple of the pro features just for those people that are considering getting pro or maybe have the pro. But I will try and touch on as many things as I can and give you guys as much value as possible. Specifically those of you who are considering using Canva, this slide here probably takes the no-brainer access out of it. So, Canva has a free version, so no-brainer, why wouldn't you just give it a go anyway? If you try it and you don't like it, the risk is not really there for you. Do you know how well to work your way around for WordPress? Oh, okay. You're thinking of the bigger picture. I'm not an expert on WordPress, so I'll be completely honest with you. That's more of a website-based thing. But certainly, David, happy to, send you an email and we can have an email chat about any questions that you might have and might be able to answer. But Canva will be able to help you with your WordPress website in terms of images and things like that, if that's what you're looking at. So excellent. Yes, that's a great idea. I will make sure that I give you guys who are using the free version or considering using the free version what the pro contains as well. So we're going to cover it all today, and hopefully that will be great for you guys. So as you can see on the screen, there is a free version, which gives you quite a lot. When I look at what you get in the free version now and what I got back in 2013 when I started, it's, even in the last 2 years, you get 250,000 free templates. Just in 2020, that was around 50,000. So they've, gone 5 times bigger with that. So if you're not a graphic designer, and let me tell you, I'm not a graphic designer. I don't always know what looks great, but I know what looks wrong. Isn't that how we call ourselves experts? We're not an expert in a field, but we know something's not right. And that's kind of the way I am when it comes to graphic design. I can put my finger on, wow, that looks amazing, that's great. But I can really see when it's not working and not right. So this gives you the opportunity to use some free templates, 250,000 on the free version. And then if you look across at the Canva Pro, 610,000 templates with new designs that are added daily. So you can see the difference there between the free version and the pro version. The pro does allow you to be able to organize your Canva life a lot easier as well through the use of folders. And I'm not sure if you get maybe one folder in the free version, but you can basically set it up so that you don't have to store any of your images or designs on your computer or taking up room in your online storage. You can actually store them within Canva. You can see there you get 1 terabyte of cloud storage. You also have the opportunity to use their scheduling tool and schedule your post directly to social media. And there's 8 platforms that they schedule to. You can remove the image of backgrounds, not only in photos, but also in videos. It's a pretty cool little tool. You can resize images, and probably the buzz at the moment and what everybody is talking about is their new AI tool. They've got a couple of artificial intelligence tools that they've added to the pro version as well, in terms of being able to create pictures. And also being able to use magic words and being able to create content. So I'll be showing you all of that today. Then for those bigger organizations, of which I don't normally have too much of an audience here for that, we've got Canva teams. So this just makes it easy to collaborate under one account if you've got multiple team members. So you see the difference in pricing there. From memory, Canva offers about a 16% discount if you pay a year in advance. So I always pay a year in advance because I think if I can save 10%, it's worth doing. So, I go ahead and I save that money. I pay once a year and I don't have to worry about it till next year. But as you can see there, and this is the current as of this morning, because I just checked these prices again this morning, $17.99 a month. If you wanted to go pro, you could give it a go for 2 months. If you find you weren't using it, you could cancel the subscription and go back to the free. So really a no-brainer in terms of giving it a go. So let's go live inside. Let's see if I can do this without cutting you all off here. I think I'm going to manage. I'll go back to my home screen. So here we are, guys. We are live inside Canva. This is my Canva account. Now, the reason why I can tell, I'm just going to turn this little annoying bar up at the top, is because up in the top right-hand corner, you'll notice it has my Altitude Business Solutions logo, and that is telling me that we are inside my account. So I'll start off on the left-hand side. So over the left-hand side, if I talk about the vertical menu, you can see it moving there over on the left-hand side. When I talk about the vertical menu on any page that I'm on, I'm referring to this left-hand menu over here. And as we go into each design, you'll actually see the vertical menu changes. So over to that left-hand side, I'll start from the top. We've got our home screen. This is our home screen, and I'll explain a bit more about that in a second. We've got templates to be able to access templates. Now we've got projects. This is what I'm talking about with folders. So you can have folders. I will just click on projects so you can see. I have a whole heap of folders set up, not only for my own business, but for my clients, and also for anything else that I might be doing. So it's just a way of being able to store things. I then have tools there, and I've got branding tools. Now this is where you, with the Pro account, you can set up a branding kit. So if I was to click on that, you'll be able to see that I have some branding kits set up. So I've got one there for Altitude Business Solutions, a client that we were working with by the name of Jeff Baker, another one by the name of Cheryl Pridham, and then I've got my Woolworths one set up as well. So what you can see there from looking at those brand kits is they have certain colors attached to them. What you can't see is that they also have certain fonts attached to them as well. So when I'm working on a particular design, if I want to add particular brand colors for a particular business, I can simply, with one click, say change it to the Altitude Business Solutions branding, and it will update all of the colors. Now, this is what's available in the Pro version, guys. Now, over to the left-hand side on that vertical menu next to brand, you will see that it has a little crown to the right-hand side of the word brand. And that crown means it's a Pro feature. So you don't have access to that if you are on the free version. Then we have our content planner. So this is where we were talking about being able to schedule to other social media platforms. This is what the content calendar looks like. Very simple. It's nice and clean. And when you actually schedule in certain posts or certain designs to your social media, they will show up here on this calendar. So I do also run another webinar where we go through and we do a whole month's worth of content in 2 hours. And I do that through the Digital Solutions program as well. So that might be something that you consider attending as well. Then they have apps, Discover apps. There's lots of different apps that Canva actually integrates with, okay? So some of these are paid for, some of them are not paid for. So it's a little bit of an exploration, and I'm not going to go into too much detail about it today, simply because there are so many. But you can integrate with a lot of other platforms. You'll see you've got Google Drive there, so you can add your designs to Google Drive. That works particularly well if you're working with a client, because you can set up a Google Drive folder that they can access. But if you're just working with it with yourself, that probably isn't too much of a concern. But this is where you can also, on the Pro version, access some of those photo editing tools, which are really popular, like the background remover, the auto enhancer, which will just make your photos look a little bit clearer and brighter, shadows and duotone, which I will go through when I jump into designs for you as well. And then you've got smart mockups. Now, this is where some of your designs are turned into things that you can use on social media, and you'll see some examples right along the center here. So this is where you've designed something and it is now going to put it on this desktop computer or smartphone or laptop. So you'll see that there. There's lots of different options. You can, put your design on t-shirts and say, hey, this is what it's going to look like, and it puts it on a person there for you with different backgrounds. It could be on a computer, it could be on a bag. So there's lots of different options there. Again, not going to touch too much on that for you today because I don't want to go too much into the Pro designs, but I just want to give you an overview. Now, down the bottom here, you'll notice on the left-hand menu, it says Start, and there's a whole heap of little words there. We've got Linda McCabe, who is one of my clients. We've got Altitude Business Solutions. Basically, these are projects or folders that I've starred. So they're my favorites, or they're the ones that I use all the time. And it just brings them to the front so that I don't have to continually go into my project file to actually find them. I pull them out and I stick them here. And I can remove them and put them there, which I will show you a little bit later as well. So let's go back to the home screen. Now, in the middle of the home screen, this is exactly what you'll see when you sign into your Canva account. First of all, you've got all of the things that you can actually create going across the center here. And over to the right-hand side, there is an actual button that you can press and it will get you along to the next slot. So you will see there are so many things you can create. You can create videos, you can create flyers, Facebook covers. You can see that they're brochures, posters, photo collages, banners. I've actually created banners in Canva and then had them created by someone like Vistaprint, is another example. Now, Canva does have some printing options. Don't get me wrong. You can get business cards through Canva and you can get them printed straight away. But some things you download and you'll be sending off to a printer. Just depends. You can create your own pull-up banners. You can create the size here in Canva. You can download it and then you can upload it to Officeworks and order yourself a banner. This is how easy Canva makes it. It's really great. So your Zoom virtual backgrounds, obviously that was something that was added during the pandemic because everyone was having their virtual backgrounds on. I think what's interesting about the pandemic and everybody moving to Zoom is that people got really sick of virtual backgrounds. So that sick of that looking like that person was floating, but Canva introduced it as a feature in one of their templates because it was so popular. Comic strip, I haven't actually seen that one before, so that's relatively new. And then you've got book cover as well for those of you who might be writing your own book or have written your own book and you wanting to create your own cover. There's also infographics and things like that for you to create, but that is all of the, I guess, design elements that you can have or designs that you can create. And as we scroll down, you'll notice that there is a topic called recent designs. These are the recent designs that I've been working on. And it just puts them up in order to say, hey, do you want to click on one of these and go into it again? So you can go down and see all of those there. And that's pretty much the homepage. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into creating a design for you, and I'm going to keep it simple. There's a couple of ways that you can start a design in Canva. First of all, up in the top right-hand corner, you can simply say create a design and click on that purple button, and it's going to come up saying, what do you want to create? So you've got a document, you've got a whiteboard. I won't explain that. That's a pro feature as well. Instagram story, A4 document, a presentation. The presentation that you saw on your screen before we went into Canva was a Canva presentation. You might know them as slideshows or PowerPoint presentations, but they do have some really cool features that you can have in those presentations as well, which I'll show you when we go back into it a little bit more. We've got Instagram posts, we've got a Facebook post, resume, Facebook cover. So there's lots of options there. And you can actually use the search bar to search for things as well. So if I was to start typing Instagram, you can notice all of the things come up to do with Instagram. It brings up some popular things as well. So this can change. During the pandemic, obviously, posts about coronavirus were really being used a lot. So anything that's being used a lot, it will bring it to the front. Or a particular time of year, you'll notice that there's Easter Instagram story. So we're coming into Easter, so they'll start showing you Easter things. When you come into Christmas, you'll see a lot more Christmas things. And that's just based on what people are creating. I'm going to go straight to the Instagram post, and I'm just going to go the Instagram post square because I think that's the one that we're all familiar with, and from a training perspective shows up in the best size on the screen. So you simply click on that to say, yes, that is what you would like to design. And then you'll notice what it does is it brings up a blank square design in the center of your screen. So over to the left-hand side, our vertical menu has changed. So this is the menu over to the very far left. I'm scrolling it now, so you'll see it go up and down. That is what I'm referring to as the vertical menu. Next to that, you will notice these templates. Now, remember I was saying to you, it doesn't matter if you're not a great graphic designer or you don't have a lot of design skills. See how it doesn't matter. You've got all of these designs which you can use, and these designs are actually searchable. So let's say, for example, you wanted to make a quote. A quote's a really good one, Motivational Monday. You might be sending something out to all of your social media followers. So I'm just going to type in quote and press enter, and it is going to show me all of the templates with quote. Now you'll notice with these templates, some of them have that little crown that we were talking about. So that means it's a pro-only design. So if you have the free version of Canva, here's what I suggest you do. At the end of your search bar where I've typed in the word quote, you'll notice there's some little lines and some circles. And that is how you can actually filter things out. Now you can filter things out by color. So if I wanted to say, look, my Altitude business color is blue. So apply that filter and just show me all of the blue ones. That's really cool. So you can see that. What I was going to show you, and I can see that they've taken it away, was there was an option for you to be able to choose free only, and you would only see the free templates, but they've taken that away. So just be conscious if you're seeing these pro ones, when you have the free version, you don't want to go creating a whole design and then find out that it's something that you can't use at the end, because when you go to download it, they're asking for payment. So just pick all of the ones that don't have that little crown on it. So if I was to scroll down and select one, that's a testimonial, that's a bit boring. Let's go This one here is free, so let's use that. You can see, guys, I don't really plan this. I don't, some people go through and plan the exact design. I don't. I do it live because this is exactly what you would be doing. Okay, you would be grabbing things and going, I don't know what design I want, so I want to do it as live as I possibly can for you. So we have picked our design. This is a free design. The reason why I know that is over in the template section. There is no little crown on it. So it's not a pro design. It's a free design. So if you have a free account, you would be able to use this. And this one actually has a picture on it and it has some wording on it. And the whole lot of this is actually editable, which I'm going to show you now. First of all, we'll start with the background. A little tip for you is when you're trying to design something, start from the background and work your way to the front. So if the background is behind the wording, then you want to start with that first and then go with the wording so that it sort of has that cohesive look. So if I click on that background, you'll notice a purple kind of square comes up behind the design. Just to show you, I'll click on this wording down here and see how it's created like a purple square around that writing. And if I click on the background, it puts that purple square right around the design. So that is how you know you are actually about to edit that particular element. Anything that you see on the design, so this wording is an element, this picture is an element. So when you hear me using the word element, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So clicking back on the background again, which is an element, you'll notice that when I click on that, up in the top left-hand corner, not all the way over, but just in what I like to call the toolbar. This little white strip up the top here is called the toolbar. You'll notice that there is a blue background square. If I click on that, it gives me the option to be able to change the background color. Now, certainly you can just select from the default colors that are here. It also pulls out any of the colors that are already in the document, because if you said, oh, I really would like all of this blue background to be the same red as is in the picture, then you can do that. So that gives you the option there. This section here where it's got Altitude Business Solutions and all of these blue colors, this is that branding element. So remember in the beginning I showed you that you could set up your different brands, and I had a few in there. If I click on this little arrow, remember I had Altitude Business Solutions, Jeff Baker, Cheryl Pridham and Woolworths. So if I was to click on Woolworths now as an example, notice it's bringing up all the colors there of that particular brand. So this is where the pro version can come in really handy if you're a business that actually deals with other clients and you're looking at using Canva to create things for clients. The first thing I always do is start off with a branding kit and we go from there. So if I was going to change this, but I wanted it to be within the Altitude Business Solutions colors, then they all come up there and it's nice and easy for me. Now, if I click on one of these squares, I'll just click on the light blue so you can see it automatically changes that background to the light blue. Again, you could go the grey blue. I'll stick with the light blue because that's kind of easy to see. One thing I will say about design is if you have a light background color, then your wording needs to be a dark color. If you have a dark background color, let's use this one as an example, see how you can't see the wording. Now, this is why I always say start from the background. Because if you go, that's really the primary color that I want to use for this design, then your wording is not going to work if it's black. So you would need to look at changing that. So let's stick with that color blue because that's easy. I'm now going to click on the next element, which is in the background, and that's this shape here at the bottom. You know, it goes underneath the little metal there and comes down the bottom, and it is a blue color. So we're going to click on that color square, and I'll change that to the lighter blue. Oh, no, I don't really like that. I'll change it to that one, keeping them both a little bit dark. And then from there, we're going to click on the wording. Now, with the wording, there's a couple of things that you can do. As I click on it, you'll notice in the toolbar, in this white toolbar at the top, all of your familiar wording, I guess, documentation, editing things come up. So you've got your bold, you've got your italic, you've got your underline. This one here is to change it from uppercase to lowercase. So you can click on that and change it. You probably can't see. Let me change the color of that wording so you can see it a bit better. There we go. See how it makes a difference when you start from the background, moving your way forward. So we now know that that wording looks it's a lot easier to read when it's right. And if I click on that uppercase wording again, you'll notice where it says you learn, because that's where my cursor is. It is changing you learn from lowercase letters to uppercase letters. And if you wanted to do that for the whole lot of wording, you can highlight it just like you can do in Word and click on it, and it will change the whole lot to uppercase writing or back again. From here, you can also, after highlighting it, highlight all of it, you can actually change the sizing of the word also. So you can do that in a couple of different ways. Up the very top in the toolbar, you'll notice that it's got the plus and minus, so you can actually just minus it down or you can plus it up. The other thing you can do is click on the actual letters in there, and I could type in 50 and it would make it 50. Again, type in 70 and it makes it 70. So that's another way of being able to change it. The other thing that you can do is you can drag the corners. So I'm dragging the corners of that purple box that it's put around the wording, and I'm dragging it up and down, and that sometimes I find this is an easier way to resize. Just keeping in mind, guys, you want to keep the majority of your design, particularly wording, towards the center, particularly if you're using, if you're creating this for social media, you don't want them to accidentally cut words off. And even when you're printing, they will require you to have a 5mm buffer or more from the side of your design. So keeping everything in the center just keeps it nice and easy. Canva helps you out there in terms of keeping it center. If I click on this wording and I move it from right to left, you'll notice as I move it across, go this way, as I move it across, oh, see that purple line that comes up in the middle? That's telling me that that wording, the way it is in that at the moment, is center of that design. Now, if I move it up and down, see how a second line comes up as a cross? So that tells me that that is center, that box is center. Because I've actually said that I want my wording over to one side, it's putting the wording over to the left-hand side of the design, but the actual box is center. So if I was to click on that wording and then decide to change it to be center, then that's what it would look like. You can just click on that. That's in the toolbar. It's under the alignment section. You can just click on that and you can move it to be whatever you want it to be. So while these designs are great to just use as they are here for inspiration. So if there are things that you wanted to remove, you can do so. Things you wanted to change, you can do so. Now, with this particular element here, which is the picture of the medal, it just so happens that this particular image is an SVG image that can have all of the colors altered. So as I click on that image, you'll notice in our toolbar, all the little different colors come up for each of those particular colors in that element. Now, if I was to click on one of those squares, it's going to give me the option to change it. Again, I could use the Altitude Business Solutions branding colors, and see how when I did that, it changed it from the yellow and changed it to the blue. So then I could go to the yellow and go, oh, I think that would look really good if it was white, and we could make that white. So as you go through, you'll notice I could change the red if I wanted to be a goldy color. I might even change this dark red to be that same goldy color, or I might change it to be that color. So all of those elements can all change color, can make it pink just to stand out for you guys so you can see. Now, keeping in mind, not all elements can be changed. Okay, so not all elements in a design can be changed. This number 1 that's here doesn't look like it can be changed. It's part of the design, but it can't actually, it's not coming up as a color to change. So that number 1 is going to remain that color. So not everything is actually, can actually be changed in an element, but Canva are getting much better at making sure that most of the things are, so that you can get that better design. Now, of course, we would never pick that pink, would we, for that design? That doesn't look great at all, but it gives you an idea of how you can change the design of things, keeping in mind this is from a template. Now, any of this wording, if I double click on it, it automatically highlights. So from here, I can say enter my name and my business name in there. And you can change any of that wording to be anything that you want. Another example of a template that I'm going to give you, I'm just going to very quickly create another page. So up where the design is, just up in the top right-hand corner of the design, you'll notice there is a little padlock that allows you to lock the design. Now, this comes in handy if you do a lot of designing and you're very clicky with your mouse. You can lock it so that you don't accidentally click on things you shouldn't. You can duplicate a page. So if I was to click on that, it is going to create a second page. You'll notice as I scroll up and down, it's created a second page that's exactly the same. That's called a duplicate button. I'm going to delete that using the little bin that's there. And then the last one is add a page. Now, this is where it's just going to add a blank page. It does take the background from your previous design. In this case, the background is that dark blue. But if you don't want that, you can simply click on it, press the delete button on your keypad, and it deletes it. So nice, just what we're used to in Word as well. Now, I'm just going to delete out that quote there, and I am going to remove the blue. I'm going to say clear to get rid of all of the, because I want to bring something in that's got a picture. And I want it to be something that you guys hear. This one looks good. Learn photography. So this one here actually has a photograph in it. Okay, so this is it looks like an advertisement for a photography class. I don't know if we have any photographers with us today, but you can change any of these photographs. So back to our vertical menu. Okay, so we've started at the top with design. I'm actually going to go down, and I'm going to go down to photos. It's about halfway down. You'll notice I'm just hovering over it there. And I'm going to click on it, and it is going to bring up all of the photos that are available for you to use. Now, it brings them up in recently used. So if there's recently used ones that you have used, you can scroll through those and you can certainly use those. There's this magic recommendations, which is one that is just based on what you may have previously searched for. And then there's also trending. So I don't know why pink is so popular at the moment, but pink is definitely in by the looks of that. Maybe it's the color of the year and I don't know about it. And as you go through, you'll notice there's lots of different designs there. So this is just giving them something to show you. The great thing about this photo section is it is completely searchable. So let's say I wanted to look for strawberries. I'm going to type in the word strawberry, press enter, and it is going to bring up all of the photos with strawberries. Now we're back to that same thing again, where some of them are pro and some of them are free. So make sure that I'm just making sure, oh, here we can, look at that. So in the photo section, if you click on your search, what would you call it? Filters. Sorry, that's the word I'm looking for. The filters icon at the end of your search bar. It gives you a few options. First of all, you can look for pictures based on the orientation. This is a square image, for example. So you might like to go, well, just show me all the square photograph. And then here where it says price, do you want the pro photos? Well, no, we just want to see the free ones. And then you can say apply filters, and it is going to show you all of the free photos only that are square that have strawberries in them. And then from there, you can actually pick one of your photos. So I'm going to scroll down because I'm looking for something. Oh, this looks good. Something's got strawberries over the whole lot is what I'm looking for. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that strawberry photo. And as you can see how I'm dragging it across the screen with my mouth? I'm just going to now pull it over. And as I hit that design, I haven't let go of my mouse yet. Okay, I'm still clicking on it. If I pull it away, it comes away. I can click on that and I go, oh, yeah, that looks pretty good. I do want to use that. I'm going to keep that. Or actually, no, I don't. And I just drag it back over to the photo side and I pick another one. And I go with the second one and I put that in and I go, oh, no, I don't like the look of that either. So you can go through and you can pick any design that you want that's going to fit. I actually like that first one the best, so I'm going to stick with that. Once you're happy with it, you release it and it puts it into the background. You see what I mean about it being really quick and easy for the drop and drag feature. So that's really key. So guys, if you've got any questions, don't forget to add them into either the chat or the questions and answers for me. So it's I'm just clearing out the ones that are in there. Thank you very much. But if you have any questions that you'd like to put in the chat or the question and answer, I'm happy to answer them for you as well. So I'll briefly show you how to schedule your posts, but you don't schedule them from here. I'll show you in a little bit. We will get to that. So as I drag the photo across, you'll see that's put the photo into the background, which is fantastic. And again, any of these elements are, that they're all, you can change all the wording, you can change the color. I'm not going to go through that again because you've seen that. Now I'm just going to create a third page because there is something that I do want to show you. I'm going to search for a photo of a lady. That's just the first thing that's come to my mind, and I'm just going to click on it. Now, when it comes to adding photos to your design, there's two ways you can do it. You can grab the photo and you can drag it in and you can drop it. Now, if I do that, it's attached to the background of that particular design. If I don't want it attached to the background, what I can do is I can click on it and see how it puts it into the design, but it's not covering the whole background. From there, I can change the size of it and I can move it. But the cool thing that I wanted to show you with having the Pro version is if I've got this picture of a lady, and it doesn't even have to be a picture of a lady, it can be a photo that you've uploaded, which I'll show you in a few minutes. I can actually click on that image, and in the toolbar, you'll notice there's edit image, and there's a few cool things that we can do from here. Now, the most popular one is the background remover. It's in my recently used because I use it all the time. But when you're new to Canva, if you don't have the background remover here, you need to go to your apps section and add it in. It doesn't cost you anything in the Pro version to do that. It's just added as an app you like to use. So from here, I can remove that, and I will remove that background in a few minutes, but I wanted to show you that you can also manually adjust the brightness of photos. So, and that's not, one of our photos, that's one that's just come from Canva. You can change the contrast if you want the photo to look, crisper or whatever you'd like, and you can change the saturation as well, give her a real tan or take it away. So, and if you go see all, there's lots of different options there for you as well, including making the photo blur. If you wanted to, you notice as I turn that blur feature on, it goes blurry. But yes, you can do a lot of adjusting to your photos in there as well. There's also filters. I recommend if you are a business that is looking to use photos for social media, don't just use them from Canva without using a filter. And if you're going to use a filter, stick to the same filter. So for Altitude Business Solutions, we always use this one called the Blues. It was easy for us to remember because it was blue, and Altitude Business Solutions is blue. But also it has that option to be able to go afterglow and make it lighter and solar and all those types of things. Now, some of these features are available in the free version as well. It's not all Pro features. The background remover is a Pro feature, yes, but some of the filters are not. You can use the filters. My suggestion to you is if you're deciding, I'm not really sure if it's the free version or the Pro version is what I need, then you just my advice is start with the free version, start using it and go, you know what, I don't really need the Pro version. I'm never really going to be removing the background of a photo, so that's going to be of no benefit to me. Think about what it is that you would like to do with Canva and then make a decision based on there. I can tell you from 2013 until 2000 and probably, I was going to say 16, either 16 or 17, I only used the free version. I didn't upgrade to the Pro until then, and that was because I changed jobs and what I was doing. You don't always, that's a good question. You don't always need to use a filter. I just think it's really great if all of your images from a branding perspective have the same kind of feel. So if I was just to go back to my photos and let's just pick this one here as a random one I'm just putting in. So if I look at those two, that's not really probably a great example, but if I go and edit that image and now go back to filters and put the blues filter on that, see how even though they're two completely different images, they kind of have the same feel and the same look. So when I think of branding and I think of, you're putting your branding colors out there, that's your fonts you might be using, the type of photos that you're using. For me, it also includes what filters are you using. So how do you want your photos to appear? And this is the one that we picked for our business, but because you can pick any one that you like. And that way, when you have all of your photos together, either on social media or maybe on Instagram, if you're one of those people, and you have your grid, all the photos kind of have that similar glow. So a lot of people do really like to use the more clearer ones. So you might go for the solar, and you'll notice when I do that, it brightens both of those pictures up. So you might go the Cali, which is very similar to the blues that we use, but it has a yellow undertone. It just gives all of your imagery the same kind of feel. So that's just my suggestion to you. You don't have to, but you'll find if you have images on there that have either different filters, like one's got an afterglow and or a solar, and one's got nothing, or one's got the blues, or one's a black and white, they don't have a cohesive feel like they belong together. So we're trying to get that brand cohesiveness for you. So in return, in terms of all of the other things that you can use on the free version, so the brightness and adjusting and all of that type of thing is not a pro feature. You can use that on the free version of Canva, so you can still have to do a lot. Or you don't have photos on the vertical menu. You should do. It may be that you need to, if you're that new to Canva, it needs to be added in. So it might be in the apps section. So just check that out for me in the apps. Sorry, Gabby, I've had Canva for so long now, so I should probably start up a new free account so I can see what's in there. But you still should have access to free photos, because some of those photos are paid for and some of them are free. So that's what, just check it out. If it doesn't have the little crown on it, then it's a free version. People get confused by that as well, I know. They only put a crown on the pro version things. So just have a look at that. If you don't have photos, you can upload your own photos, which is the next couple of buttons above on your vertical menu to the side. You'll notice there's an upload button there. And you can upload photos. So I've uploaded a few photos and things here as well. And you can just add them in, very similar to what you have on any other design program. You just click the upload button. If I do it now, I click upload. It'll say from files, and it's asking me whereabouts do you want to add from. That looks like an image. So I just say open and it uploads it. Here it is uploading at the top here. And then we just click on that image there. And that is the image that I just uploaded. Very blurry image. I wouldn't be using that one. I've obviously copied it from the web somewhere. If you want to delete any of those photos or images from the design, you simply click on it and press the delete on your button. And same over in your upload section. If I don't want that photo anymore, I can hover over it, click on the three little dots, and then see where it says move to trash. I can just move it to the trash, so I don't have to have it there anymore. I just want to touch a little bit on underneath the upload section. You'll notice that there's a text button. This is where you can add different styles of text. Now this text, you can see there is pro versions and there is free versions of text as well. So as we scroll down here, a lot of these are pro, but there's a couple. This one here, this thank you, it is free. This sparkle, I used to use this one a lot, and I'll show you why. I'd just increase this lady here who I've made black and white. I used to use this sparkle all the time, this one. For clients, because you can put a black and white image in, and then you can actually change the color of that wording as well to match their branding. And that one looks quite nice as well. So I used to use that all the time. You can do a lot of cool things with background remover to make this image look really good, but I'm not going to show you that because I don't want to go too in depth into those pro features. But this sparkle text is actually a free element that you can use. And again, double click on it and you can change that to be anything. So I can write my name. And it can be any color, that particular design. That's why I always really liked it, because I could make it very similar design to either the photo or whatever my client's branding kit was all about. So that's just some examples of font combinations that you can use as I scroll down. So you see a lot of them are pro versions there, but there are a couple of free ones. You can also just add ordinary text. So I'm just going to remove or make these elements a little bit smaller just so you can see. I'll delete that wording. So you've got here, add a heading, add a subheading, and add a little bit of body text. That just is in relation to the size of the wording. So if I click on add a heading, it's making it bigger, and you can drag those corners. This is what I find it's easier to do. And you can also move that wording into the center, double click on it, and you can change the wording to be whatever you want. You can also change the font. So if I click on that wording in the toolbar at the top, I can just click on the actual font. And again, it has the pro versions and the free versions of different fonts. So it gives you some recommended based on what you've used previously, if you've used Canva before. But there's so many fonts that you can use there as well. So, oh, great. Thanks, Gabby. You found the photos. Yeah, Canva moved to, they had a standard vertical menu, and they used to put those standard things in, but there was a lot of complaints over people don't use a lot of those things. So some of you who have only just got an account may find that you have to go to the apps and look for the photos and look for some of the things that you might see on my screen here, because they've changed that a little bit. So yeah, so you can pick any of these elements as well. So that's pretty much for design. That's nice and easy. Now, you know, I spoke about using templates. We've grabbed a couple of templates. We've changed some photos. In terms of elements, remember I told you in the design world, anything within the design is an element. Canva has gone and confused that and decided to create a button called elements, and there's all different types of elements. Again, if you're on the free version, you won't see everything, have everything. There's a little pro crown there for the ones that you can use on the pro version. A lot of the videos, I think the videos that they have, that is a pro feature from memory. It's not available on the free unless they're now enticing people to use the free. But using some of these videos can be really cool. And if I show you an example and delete out that strawberries and drag in a photo, see how you can see that's now a moving background photo video, which is really cool. So, and you can create that and put that onto social media, so that just gets a little bit of attention as well. One question is, designs, do I send out as a newsletter for my contacts? Can I use Canva to do this, not as an attachment, but in something like MailChimp? Yes, you can. It is a little bit complicated. In fact, if I just go quickly back to the Canva home screen, and I type in design email, it's probably templates. So I'm just going to grab one of these suggested templates down here. I'll stick with this one. Yeah. Yes, you can integrate your newsletter into MailChimp. It is a little bit complicated. It's not as simple as just a simple yes, because you do have to do a few things, but you can certainly design your entire email, and this is just an example. But over to the side here in templates, you'll see all of the examples. If you're having a 50% sale, you could grab that one, and you can add that in. That could be your email that you wanted to send out. Entering it into MailChimp is probably another a whole session on being able to do that. You can integrate it very easy by going share. And then if I just say more here, this is all of the apps that Canva actually integrates with, and one of them is MailChimp. You'll notice here's the little MailChimp feature. So you can actually add your MailChimp account, and you can send that design to your MailChimp account, but there's a couple more things that you need to do from there. So the short answer is yes, you can definitely design in Canva and send to MailChimp. It's how we present that in MailChimp that would be something I would need to talk you through. I'm actually having a MailChimp 101 session in the next couple of weeks through the Digital Solutions program. So that might be something that you would like to attend also. So yes, you can do that. In terms of designs, you can see there's so many different designs there that you can use. Video is really attractive. There's heaps of cool stuff that you can do. But is there any other questions that you guys wanted to have? I'm conscious of the time. I know we've only got 5 minutes. I'll be using Outlook to send out and not through MailChimp, but I think you've answered my question. Okay, great. Awesome. I'm not sure about integration with Outlook. I haven't actually looked into that, to be in all honest, but you would be able to download. Oh, thank you. How to schedule. I did want to show you that. So this is a pro feature, guys. I do a whole 2-hour digital solutions workshop on this. If you click on the content planner, you come down, you can see the content that you've got here. So you need to hover over the date that you want. Let's just go to today, just because that makes it easy. And as I hover over it, up in the top right-hand corner of today's date, which is the 9th, comes a plus. If I click on that plus, it's saying, you know, do you want to add a post? You go a new post, etc. So I'm just going to say, select this one here. So this is the post that I've chosen. Now you can do it from that content planner section like I just did by hitting a plus. Or if you're in a design, let's say you said, I just want to create an Instagram post, which this is an Instagram size post, and we've done our creating and this is the design that we want. Up in the top right-hand corner is the share button. So then we can say share and we should be able to say schedule. Now, obviously, mine is there because I've used it a little bit, but if your schedule is not here in this recently used or most used section, you'll just need to go to the more and it would be in there, okay? So it just depends on what you use. So Canva is really cool in terms of how it integrates everything. It looks at what you do more often and it puts those things in front of your face. So for me, it's got, obviously I use present all the time, but it's got schedule there. So if your schedule is not there, then it will actually be in that more section. And then it's saying, when do you want it? That's the date, but we could change that if we decide, no, actually, I don't want this to go till tomorrow. We just click on that and we can change the time. Now this time here, because people always say, what time is that? In the setup of your account in Canva, you select the time. So I've selected it as Brisbane, so that's all good. I'm going to leave that time as that. That's fine by me. Select a channel. Now you'll notice I've got a few different channels added here because I work for some people. But if you needed to add a channel, you simply click on the add button. You decide what it is that you're wanting to add. So if you wanted to add LinkedIn or Facebook or a Facebook group, you click on that. And then you go through the steps to connecting your Facebook account. I'm not going to do that today because obviously I've already connected. So it's just going to go through and you just say, yes, connect. It gives you permission for your Facebook. So I'm just going to go back and say, select a channel. I'm going to say this one here. You write the wording that you want. And then you say schedule. You can see I haven't done this for a little while. It's asking me to re-authenticate my Facebook. It'll do this every now and again to make sure the link is still good. I've re-authenticated it by saying yes. And then it says your design is scheduled. Now, as I go back to my content calendar, you'll notice on Friday the 10th, there is now a post there. And what's great is once you've got that post there, you can actually move it. If I said, oh, I don't want it on the 10th, I want it on the 18th, I can just drag it across and it becomes really quick and easy to see what days you have got posts in there and what days you haven't. So keep an eye out, guys. I'll send you all an email, but there will be a 2-hour workshop, design and schedule a month's worth of social media through Canva. That's a really great one to attend because I actually show you about the pillars of content as well in that one. So that might be a little handy as well. Gabby's asked, can I suggest any other apps that are handy for beginners to have? For me, if I just go back here, no, here is where I want to be. Sorry, I've got a little bar here that's in my way. Here we go. If I go into the app section, look, Are you talking about with the pro version, Gabby, or just with the free version? Because there are so many apps. Obviously, throughout the pandemic, everyone got used to using QR codes. So I use a lot of QR coding in my designs. But I'm not sure if the QR code is available in the free version. So basically, if I wanted to add a QR code to this design here, I'd click on that as an app. It'd say enter the URL. And I'd enter the URL, and then I'd say generate code, and see how it puts that, it's put that QR code into my design. So that's a really cool thing as well. I do that all the time. So in terms of what apps are the best, it really depends on what you're going to be doing. I don't really have any recommendations. The only reason I got the pro version of Canva was for the background removal tool. That was the only reason I got it, because I wanted to be able to upload. If I just very quickly go to my uploads and go, I wanted to be able to upload an image of myself. This is not me, but I just wanted to upload an image, and I wanted to be able to edit that image and remove the background. And I still use this all the time. And you'll notice when I remove the background of this image, there we go, we've just got that person there now without the image. So I use this all the time. That was the main reason why I got Canva Pro, was for the image removal. I wanted to be able to put pictures of myself up and be able to remove the background. But what I would say to you, if you've got the free version and you're wondering what apps there are, go in and have a look. Obviously, you've got the popular ones up here. So obviously Google Drive is a good one. I'm not sure if that's available on the free, but you can actually send your designs to your Google Drive. So that might be a good one to use if you're wanting to keep everything all together. But there are so many on there. Bitmoji is a new one, I believe, but it's pretty cool as well. You've got the emoji. So if you're big on using emojis, you might want to use that as well. But look at them all. There is just so many, and they're adding more all the time. So a lot of you might be, and some of them are integrated tools as well. So for example, I use this one here, this Publer. That's because it's a scheduling tool for social media that I use for my clients. So, but not everybody would use that. So it's just about going in and checking out and seeing what you like and what you have. So I can see another question in there now. Sorry. Is there a way to save your filter settings so it is consistent? That's a really good question. If I just have a look in brands, I'll be able to tell you they're changing brands all the time. So if I just add in that. So I've gone into the branding section. This is, sorry, I just moved that. You can't see that, but I was going to move something off the screen. So I've gone into brand over in the vertical menu, and I've clicked on my Altitude Business Solutions. And from here, you can see I can add in different types of logos. So these were all the different logos that I uploaded, including one that's a white with a clear background. You can see I've added in brands and fonts. You can also upload fonts as well if you're one of those people that has been supplied a font by a graphic designer. You can upload it into Canva, and my brand colors, but it doesn't give me the option to add any kind of filter there. So the answer to that question is no. There you go. As I said, they're updating this all the time. It wasn't too long ago that you couldn't have brand font in there. It was literally just the logo and the colors. So yes, they're updating it all the time. So just keep going back and check. That's one thing I will say with Canva. They're really progressive with moving things along so that you get the best value out of either your subscription that you have or your account that you have as well. Okay. So guys, any other questions before I duck off? I know I've gone a little bit over time, but I hope I've given you some value there. I'll just run through a couple of things. I want to show you, if I go to, here we go. So this is, oh, sorry, that was my watch talking there. This is my presentation that I was showing you earlier. So remember I said my presentation was in Canva. So I'll just show you this really quickly. If I go share, I can present it, which I'm going to do, which is going to make it full screen. and it is going to go into full screen for me. Now, this is really cool. It's got a couple of features. For starters, I can put a countdown timer up in the corner, and that works out really well if I'm early to a webinar. There is a couple of other features I'm just trying to find. Oh, drums. There you go. You can have drums come up. So, you know, just calling that. I think there's one called bubbles as well. Oh, there we go. Blur. If you're wanting to blur the screen, you don't want people to see it, that's a B. But it does have a few cool features in that presentation one as well. So if you're someone that does a lot of webinars, online workshops, or does some presenting of some sort, then that might be something that you consider doing as well. So guys, Canva is an amazing graphic design tool, and with that free feature, why wouldn't you just give it a go? There's no risk for you whatsoever. If you don't like it, you just stop using it. As I said to you, if you're new to Canva, my suggestion is start with the free version, start using it. If you're finding that there's not enough features there for you, then upgrade to the pro version then. But remember, it is a cost of $17.99 per month, or you can save yourself about 16% if you pay for it annually. So if you're like me and you use it all the time, particularly for a scheduling tool to social media, then that is a really great way to be able to do it. Now, for those of you who are part of the Digital Solutions program, my question to you is, have you booked in for your one-on-one sessions? Because if you haven't, you're really missing out. So $44 gets you up to 7 hours of mentorship. Now, that is combined with one-on-one sessions and recommended workshops and webinars as well. So your expert will actually recommend to you, I think you need to go and watch this workshop or this webinar. And then after you've done that, come back to me and we'll have a one-on-one session. What do the one-on-one sessions entail? Well, they're an online session where we'll actually work on your business. So it's you and I having a conversation, answering all the questions that you might have about Canva, or me explaining to you how you can, and teaching you how you can actually use Canva to the benefit of your business. Or it may be something to do with email or something else as well. So we do lots of different things. But $44 for 7 hours of mentorship, it's not going to be around forever. They're looking at closing the program at the end of March. So we're still waiting to see if it's going to be extended, fingers crossed, but we're still waiting to hear that. So guys, if you haven't booked in for your one-on-one sessions, please go to the Business Station website, businessstation.com.au, go to the Digital Solutions tab and do so. But I'll also send you an email with the details to remind you of that as well. So take advantage of the program while it's still there, because it won't be there forever. And if you want to connect on social media, I'm happy for you to do so as well. I will send you out an email with some information about the Digital Solutions program, but you can connect with me on social media as well. And if you have any questions on anything that we've gone through today, guys, just flick me an email and reply to me and I will get an answer for you straight away. Thank you so much to attending. Thank you, Business Station and the Digital Solutions program, for allowing me to present this webinar. I hope that's been a great introduction into all of the things that Canva can do for your business. So what I want you to do now, guys, is go forth and grow your business using Canva. Have a fantastic afternoon.